Today's Mitzva is indeed a great simcha to myself and to all the Medrash, to all the Chaverim, to all the Mishpachas. When I look at Mendel, Horowitz chose not to make a speech, but rather to toil over a Masechta, to learn through a whole volume of the Talmud. And he is, Baruch Hashem, a gifted child. And he is, for his age, Ben Koyle. One asks the question, what's the recipe? How do you do this? What's the chinuch? What's the basis? How is it done? Reminds me of something that happened. Our first child was born. I was very perplexed. I was suddenly faced with the task of being the Chanukah child. I noticed people did it in different ways. I didn't know what to do. So I went to my Rabbi Shlomo Freifeld and I told him, I don't know what to do. I'm suddenly faced with this awesome task of bringing up a child. How is it done? What's the recipe? He laughed at me. I told them I see people that speak to their children, they preach to their children, they're constantly criticizing their children, they're constantly watching their children, and I know myself I can't do any of these things. I felt at a loss. I said, Yelamdeinu Rabbeinu, teach me what to do. I mentioned this one I see constantly talking to this child, this one I see in shul constantly pinching this child with a davening. And this one, was tut man da? Wie is man mechanech a kind, a child to have Avos HaTorah and Avos HaYadus? How is it done? He laughed at me and he told me it's a very simple recipe. Whatever you want your child to do, whatever you want your child to do, you want your child to make brachas, you make brachas properly. You want your child to bench the kavanah, you bench the kavanah. You want your child to daven b'kavanah, you daven b'kavanah. You want your child to learn, let your child absorb and see that you learn. I must say that Menachem Mendel soll sein gesund. The Loiswachs, the größte Elachid, the größte Talmud comes from a home. Aaron and Mimi both have Avos HaTorah. Aaron is a person who works hard to make a living. Aaron learns on the train, and Aaron learns when he comes home. And it's a home, where it's drenched and saturated with Avos HaTorah and Avos HaMitzvahs and Avos HaVodah. That's the recipe. There's no other recipe. You can't make any speeches. You're not going to do it with force. You're not going to do it with criticism. I want to wish Aaron and Mimi Mazel Tov, and Menachem Mendel Mazel Tov, and the Zaydis and the Bolas. Rabbi Shlomo soll helfen. The Bar Mitzvah Bocha geht auf a gute Weg. Hat Avos HaTorah, a gute Kopf. I heard a kasha today that he has. Somebody told me of a kasha that he has. The gewaltige gute kasha, the Chroinem is the kasha. Rabbi Shlomo soll auch alle helfen. There should be Torah de Kesimches. And alle Kinder von alle Mishpachas sollen gehen in Derech HaTorah, they should grow in the Derech HaTorah. And all Mishpachas should be successful to imbue their children with Avos HaTorah and Avos HaMitzvahs and Avos Darkei Yisrael. And so no sein Simchas bei ihm.